Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put some case sealant on, just a little bit right here. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to join the case halves. The crank's in place, everything's in place, so fingers crossed. Seals are all there, dowels are there, that's tightened down, so we should be good to go. That's the one we just applied sealant to, the bottom of. So there it comes. Straight in like that. There we go. You gotta turn the transmission a little bit to get that gear to sit on it from the down below. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna put the crank bolts in. There's 4 on this. 2 of them are the same length. Those 2 go on this side here. 1 there, and 1 there. Then there's 2 over here. The big one goes back here. There's a little bit of oil on these. This engine was washed pretty extensively, so most of the threads are probably rather dry. So it wants you to tighten these 2 on this side first. Believe it or not, it doesn't give you a torque, interestingly. And it calls both of them 1, doesn't say which one to do first, so I'm just going back and forth on them. Then it wants you to do, let me get that paper for you. You can see it there, it doesn't give you the torque. It has 1, then 2, 3, those are the bigger bolts. Then it has 4, these 2 front ones, 5, 6. It's just telling you what the lengths are, it's not telling you the order really, but yeah, so. I'm gonna torque these down to the same as the inner crankcase bolts, because that seems to make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. Okay, make sure the crank still turns freely, which it does, so we're good to go. All right, up next, I'm gonna put the smaller bolts back in. There's our diagram for that. Hopefully you can see it. So it tells us which one has that hook on it. It's 1 over on that side. I think this one goes there because it's crazy long. So the shorter bolts, I think they go up this way, and out there that's too short. This one here, yep. This one actually goes there. The thing. This one goes there, next to it. Okay, it looks like I'm missing that bolt, so I'm gonna have to find it. It is 6 by 56. That's just like these bolts, I think. Yeah. So I gotta find one of these real quick. So I'll be right back. Okay, I found the missing bolt there. Back there. This one goes right there. These are all a 10mm head. Gotta get some extensions there. I think I'm gonna torque these down to about 12 Newton meters. Doesn't say, but you know, that's what's normal on other engines for bolts of this size. Probably start here in the front, work my way across. It's here. This one. All right, the case is together, so let me flip this over and we'll get ready to go on. Okay, so the next step here in putting this engine back together is checking that the rings still are the right size and that I don't need some new ones. So I've gotten those all set aside here. That's ring size 1, ring size 2. This is 2, this is 1. So really I'm just checking the end gap here because that's the only thing I'm really worried about on this engine. So I'm just gonna put one of them in there, push it down about 5 millimeters, so that's about the second groove there. Then I just measure it with a feeler gauge. I've already measured all these, so I happen to know they measure about half a millimeter, or 20 thousandths. That's what's in spec for this engine. Standard is 0.2 to 0.4 of a millimeter, and replaces over 0.8 of a millimeter. So it's at 0.5. It's got a little wear, but I'm not really worried about it. It's fine. So I've already checked all these rings. They're already all good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rings back on the pistons now, and getting ready to put them back in the actual engine. So I'll start with piston 2 here. So the first thing I'm gonna put on is the oil wavy ring, right there. I don't think these are the original pistons for this engine, even though this bike only has 1,300 miles on the tach. And a lot of stuff supports that, like the bearings, but I think something happened to it. It had to have some kind of rebuild. Then they did it again. So I'm definitely going to check the oil pump over real well. But anyway, it's a 0.25 over piston. Maybe that's from the factory. I don't know, but it says Art on it. So maybe that was a aftermarket company. They had a little bit of wear on them, but I cleaned them up some and it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this oil ring in. It's got a forward arrow that goes that way. So I want this oil ring to be right here on the center in the back first, like that. Then the lower one, I'm gonna bring it on, and it's gonna go about right there. So I got the lower one on, need to move it around a little bit. It's not exactly where I wanted it. It's okay. Where's the joint? Right there. Yeah, it's a little bit close. I'm gonna rotate them around. So that's right there and that's right there. So that's there, that one's there, and that one's there. Then I'm gonna put this one on, so it's gonna be about right there, the top oil wiper ring. Okay, so I've got the bottom ring on there now. I usually like the gaps to be kind of on the exhaust side. I feel like if it's gonna leak a little bit, I'd rather it be over there. Up next, I'm gonna put the bottom ring on. I'm gonna put its gap over kind of this way. And these rings have markings which tells you which way is up. Don't know if all of them do, but these do. Put that over right there. And the side gap feels well fine on those. I'm not going to worry about it. And lastly, and put this one right about there. It's the top ring. You can tell it apart because they're shaped different, and also the top ring's a chrome ring. The bottom ring's like a cast iron probably. All right, so that one's ready to go on. Just gonna set it right there. Same thing with this piston. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to put those onto the engine.